Greetings, Tezos Nation. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons. Joining me today is Andriy Velykyy, co-founder and CEO of Allbridge. Allbridge, for those who might not know, is the simple, modern, and reliable way to transfer assets between different networks and bridge the gap between EVM and non-EVM compatible blockchains. Their team is currently preparing to launch a Tezos-focused project that Andriy will be taking us through right here on TezTalks Live today. On today's stream, we'll be giving away a Tezos-branded Nano Ledger to one lucky TezTalks Live viewer. If you'd like that lucky viewer to be you, keep an ear out for a keyword later on during the stream. And of course, if you have any questions for Andriy that you'd like me to ask, please add them in the chat at any time, and we'll get to as many as we can before we wrap up. Hi, Andriy. How are things in Portugal?
Hey, good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you? Where are you located now?
Well. I'm in Vancouver, BC, and the weather is beautiful today. To get us started, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started on your journey into the exciting world of blockchain technology?
Actually, I'm original of an IT background. I used to build data centers back in the days. In 2015, discovered crypto and started building mining facilities around Ukraine, which is where I'm originally from. And over time, I started looking deeper and deeper into crypto and ended up building bridges. We started a company together with my co-founder and CTO almost 2 years ago. It's been for us, 2 years building bridges. I think maybe in some other industry that counts like for at least 4 and 5 years of experience. And
Very
from
cool.
day one, been focusing on connecting EVM chains to non-EVM chains, which I think what this actually needs, because the majority of other bridges, they just decide to redeploy same Solidity contract here and there, and what's the fun in it?
Mm-hmm. For those who might not be, you explained it a little bit, but for those who might not be familiar, how would you explain the Allbridge platform and its purpose in the blockchain ecosystem?
We believe that should be connected together so that the users will ultimately have this choice of transferring assets and information from one chain to another. And what we are aiming at is we are trying to bring together a single bridge, hence the name Allbridge. We have 17
Very
chains
nice.
at the moment, and I think we have the largest amount of non-EVM chains compared to any other bridge.
Very cool. So in terms of bridging the gap between those different networks like you're describing, why did your team feel like that should be a big priority? Like why does the blockchain ecosystem need that?
So first of all, let's agree on the concept that the future is multi-chain. So we need different chains to be out there, not a single one. Like Bitcoin maximalist will tell you that the only chain you need, it is Bitcoin, right? Same will probably go for Ethereum guys. They will run around saying that the flipping is about to arrive. They are the most popular network, and so on and so forth. We believe that people need to have this choice, and that different chains, they have different advantages. And to make sure that users have access to all of those chains and all of their advantages, we are building the bridges.
Okay. In terms of the health of the larger blockchain ecosystem and the future being multi-chain as you describe, what's the importance of being multi-chain? Like what does that mean for the end user?
Okay, I will give you an example. We will probably dive more into that later in this interview, but we will be speaking a lot about NFTs on Tezos and how popular they are and how active NFT community is as blockchain. Now, let's say on one hand, I am NFT enthusiast and I want to get the most out of it. And for that reason, I'm really interested in all of those NFT collections exclusively available on Tezos. And on the other hand, for some reason, let's just consider it be, I'm also believing in Bitcoin. I think the majority of crypto do. So I would, in this case, would be interested in keeping my Bitcoin, this digital gold concept, on one side, playing with NFTs on different Tezos marketplaces on the other side, and last but not least, maybe, just maybe, hope that I'm not insulting anyone here, but also have the ETH, just in case, it goes well, maybe not. And connecting those together, it is what we are trying to do with the bridge. So this is what I mean by saying that we are aiming at bringing advantages from all of the chains together at one place and helping our users transition to another.
Okay. And within that process, like obviously token security is a pretty hot button issue in the crypto space at this particular moment. What steps have your team taken to ensure that the assets that Allbridge handles are secure?
Now, just as a disclaimer here, I cannot by any means promise that everything at any point of time is going to be good and we will not get hacked at some point. I think that any person making this claim is making a stupid claim. We don't know what is going to happen. We don't know the attack vectors that are, but what we can do is, first of all, we can perform security audits so that we will have another set of eyes seeing our contract, exactly what we're doing. Other than that, we can participate in a variety of bug-bound platforms so that it is not just one single auditor, but the majority of the community is out there looking into it, investigating, and if there are any white hats there, sharing with us the possible vectors of attack so that people can get compensated. Other than that, I believe that we also need strong in-house expertise. So we are trying not to review continuously through our code, but we are trying to cover it with as many tests as possible. So in case things go south, and let's expect that can happen at some point, then we will be able to identify the problem fast and hopefully resolve it. I'd say so far so good. We have been out in the space for almost 2 years now. We haven't been hacked yet. Fingers crossed, we won't be in the future. Although I started with the saying that it is not really up for me to promise that. We're just trying to do as much as we can to make sure that all the users' assets are secure.
Fair enough. So before we jump into the bridge with Tezos and what that collaboration looks like, I'm wondering, in a general sense, can you explain the part that you see Allbridge playing in the larger blockchain ecosystem moving forward, and where the average blockchain user will experience your technology? I think Andriy may have frozen here. Andriy, if you can hear me, see if you can log back in. There we go. Welcome back. That's a relief. Did you catch my
Can you
last
hear
question? I can, yes.
I lost you on your question before we jump, and while you were saying jump, my internet went, I don't know, somewhere. Maybe because it is concerned about jump trading, being now part of this whole discussion out there on Twitter, if they're exiting crypto space or not. Maybe these guys listening to us are somehow reacting to the word jump. Sorry for that. Anyways.
Well, like you said before, nothing is certain in the digital age, is it? So my last question before we lost you there was, what part do you see Allbridge playing in the larger blockchain ecosystem moving forward, and like, where will the average blockchain user experience your technology?
What I'm personally focusing on right now it is on transferring the value between the chains. And by transferring the value, I mean that how do we make sure that liquidity easily migrates from here to there? Because bridges are commonly associated with those wrapped assets that are hard to understand the concept of, that are hard to change into something else, and so on and so forth. So the product I've been playing around for quite some time, it has been cross-chain stable swaps. So let's say, so now we have USDT on Tezos, right? It is already up there and running. And if we can say that someone is interested in changing DAI on Ether directly into USDT on Tezos, so how do we make sure that we enable cross-chain stable swaps? This is the part I'm trying to dig into right now actively. And I'm thinking that becoming this backbone of the cross-chain liquidity transfer infrastructure, it is something that I'm really aiming for.
Okay. Awesome stuff so far. I'm excited to learn more, but before we dive deeper, are you ready for the TezTalks lightning round?
Sure, absolutely, anytime.
Awesome. Just before you do that, I'd like to announce today's keyword for the Tezos branded nano ledger we're giving away today. Today's keyword is exclamation point bridge. Enter the keyword exclamation point bridge in the live stream chat, and Nightbot will randomly select today's winner, who will announce before the end of the stream. Okay, now, Andriy, it's lightning round time. Remember, there are no wrong answers, and this is just for fun so our listeners can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
Sure, let's go.
Beaches or mountains?
Mountains, always.
Pizza or sushi?
Complicated one. I'd say sushi. Before it was pizza, but my wife convinced me that I am growing too fat, so now it's just sushi for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Movies or video games?
Video games. I'm more active.
Is this real life or are we in a simulation?
It is real life. I sometimes wished it was a simulation, but it is real for some reason. I don't know.
True or false? Money buys happiness.
No, it doesn't.
Name one thing you absolutely want to do before you die.
Heliboarding. Coming back to the mountains. I never tried snowboarding, jumping out of the helicopter. Hopefully this year, next year, and I don't die by that time. Yeah.
Particularly good answer considering you currently have a broken elbow.
Yeah.
The last place you traveled was?
Switzerland, just a week ago or something, to the conference by Tether. They had it in.
Very cool. I was in Geneva myself recently. In 5 words or less, how would your best friend describe you?
It's a tricky one. Maybe we will leave that as the description.
Fair enough. Finally, what is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Video games. I thought we covered that already.
Okay, video games and sushi. Excellent answer. This concludes the TezTalks lightning round. Let's get back into it. As I teased off the top, Allbridge is launching a Tezos-focused collaboration in the very near future that we're all quite excited about here. Can you tell us a bit about what your team has been working on with Tezos and what it means for the Tezos ecosystem?
So we are speaking about NFT part or collaboration in general?
Both.
Both. So I would say that this collaboration, it has been 3 ways collaboration. So we partner up with Medfish Solutions, which I hope would be on this call with us, but apparently it's just me, so I will have to answer for everyone. And because Medfish have been deploying so many products in Tezos, including swaps, etc., wallets, they thought that maybe we can collaborate on bridging to Tezos. And because I am sort of bridge guy, this is how we started working together. So Medfish helped us with their concept understanding and experience in working on Tezos. And we brought from our part our experience in building bridges in general. And that ultimately resulted in a bridge from all the chains that we support. So far, there is 16 of them, and the 17th is Tezos. So we connected them all together. And this is the collective effort of Tezos Foundation, Madfish Solutions, and Allbridge team. So I would like to say that it is not just we who did it. We did it together, and that is important here. Now, coming to the next part of the question, and I think that we will be looking more into that now. We have this unique NFTs by Mario Klingemann that's going to be launched and debuted among people who will participate in our competition, if I may call it, and we will probably discuss it later on.
Okay. Well, we can get into it a little bit now. So Mario Klingman is obviously a very big name in the digital art world in general, and here in the Tezos ecosystem in particular. What can you tell us about how the collaboration between Mario and Madfish and Allbridge took shape?
So we will need sort of disclaimer here.
Okay.
I cannot call myself an expert in NFTs. So probably there are things that I may not know. But from what I know, it is that Mario is extremely popular artist, especially related to Tezos blockchain. And right now, as his new collection is going to be launched soon, we were trying to figure out the way how we can attract users from other chains to bridge assets to Tezos and participate in this competition where NFT by Mario would be used as a reward. Actually, 75 NFTs are going to be there. And to do that, you need to use the bridge and use the the NFT marketplace and trade there, buy their NFTs. So the current what we need to do right now, it is that you need to transfer BUSD from BNB or USDC from Polygon or ABR from any blockchain to Tezos using our bridge. And then if you want, you can swap those tokens to XTZ on QuipaSwap. QuipaSwap is obviously a DEX built by our partners from Madfish Solutions. And the transferred amount should be at least 200 USD equivalent. So what happens next is you go to the most popular Tezos marketplaces for NFTs, Teia Art, Object.com, or Rarible.com, but only for Tezos NFTs. Just don't try doing this on other chains. And then you will automatically become the participant of our raffle. And from 21st of November until 21st of December, if you do it, you have a chance to win this exclusive NFT.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, I would use $200, use your bridge to put that into the Tezos ecosystem, exchange it on QuipaSwap, go on one of the exchanges that you mentioned, and buy any Tezos NFT.
Yes, support any artist you like. There are no limitations here, so it is entirely up to you which artist and which collection you want to buy, and you will automatically become a participant. So you don't necessarily need to do anything else there.
So I don't have to spend $200 on an NFT. I could just buy. I could buy any NFT as long as I've done those steps. I'm entered in the draw. And the draw will be for 75 unique Mario Klingman NFTs on offer. So that's the basic process to get entered into the raffle for the 75 NFTs. Am I understanding that correctly?
Absolutely.
Okay. If I wanted to, like, where could I go to take a look at the NFTs that are the 75 NFTs that are on offer and see what's up for grabs here?
Okay, so I think that we will provide a link of where you will be able to see them. I'm not sure if we can describe it in a verbal format of where those NFTs are.
Okay.
I can share the guide for bridging. I think that that's about it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure if you are able to preview those
Okay.
NFTs that are part of these collections, or alternatively, it's gonna be a cool surprise for you because when you see it, when you receive it, you will obviously see that.
Of course. And obviously, in any case, it is a Mario Klingman NFT, which is a good thing to have, right?
True, true. I think for every collector, it is a good thing to have, especially considering in Tezos ecosystem in general. So this is like a blue chip, right? You need to have one of those.
Okay. So, in terms of this bridge to the Tezos ecosystem, why did of all the blockchains out there, why did you feel like at this stage that building a bridge to the Tezos ecosystem should be a priority? Like, what makes Tezos an important blockchain in the space from your perspective?
Well, I really love blockchains like Tezos because they have a lot of users, and those users, they are unique to this particular blockchain. I'm not sure what is the right word to describe, but I can somehow relate to Tezos as a cool country, but it is sort of isolated. It's like an island, and people there, they are sitting there playing within the ecosystem, but not really moving out of it and to it. And this is one of those concepts that I really try to solve with my bridge. I want people to be able to easily migrate from here to there. So I think that the existing community on Tezos chain, it is super cool. And my question is there anything that we can do to expand it, naturally, to attract people to go there and play with Tezos technology? To just get awareness of what is happening in the whole ecosystem. It is what I try to do from day one at Allbridge, because people, they usually have what? They have EVM chains and MetaMask. And all they do, they just change the chain in MetaMask from one to the other, not exactly trying to understand that there are other ways for technology to be developed. There are other types of addresses, other chains, complete other ecosystems out there. And I think that what we are doing here right now, it is really important from that perspective, that chances are that people who are playing with NFTs at Polygon or at Binance Smart Chain, they will get interest in getting this free NFT, and they will make this first transaction, and then they will see how easy and efficient Tezos chain is, how easy to use, and they will stick there. And what we need to do for them is we need to give this small little push just to help them. And to make this little push happen, we are trying to attract them with the free NFTs. That is how this market works.
Absolutely, and obviously that's an important priority for us in the Tezos ecosystem already. That attracting people from other chains to come and see what's going on here is hugely important for us. So in the sort of endeavor to build bridges into the Tezos ecosystem, um, given that it is clearly a priority in our space as well, what have your conversations and collaborations been like with the folks established in the Tezos ecosystem? Like, what does the relationship between Allbridge and Tezos look like as it exists today?
So for me, Madfish solution is the primary gateway into Tezos ecosystem in general. The majority of the contacts I'm receiving right now, it is because of our work together. Because as popular as Allbridge may be in the other ecosystems, in the other chains, I cannot say that we are right now well known in Tezos. And Madfish solutions, they are. So this is sort of coordinated effort together to be there. And I can actually share here, I think it is exclusive story. I don't think that it has been anywhere else before, but I have been there in the very beginning when Madfish Solutions just started working with Tezos. Did they ever tell you the story?
No, please do.
Back in the days, I think it was 2018, Metric Solutions were interested in starting building on Tezos. And the whole ecosystem there, it was not so well developed as it is now. So there were a couple of ideas, including Temple Wallet, which I think right now it is one of the most popular wallets out there in the Tezos ecosystem. I think DEX, QuipaSwap was one of those ideas too, and there has been a compiler. I think those three products. And there has been an event in New York were organized by Tezos, and everyone from the foundation were there. So we decided that we will fly there together. And because before I have been part, I've been traveling a lot and speaking to crypto guys here and there. So the founders, they kindly invited me to join them in this trip. And we flew together to New York. We spoke there to Arthur. I think we met quite a few people from the foundation, from Tezos also. And this is how it all started. So it all went down, to a single trip to New York, where we had an opportunity together to speak, to meet face to face. And all this progress, it has grown from there. And right now, looking back, because it hasn't been so many years since the journey, I sort of find it interesting and fun how it all started. And I still remember this flat in Brooklyn with the apartment that we rented. And we were sitting there and we needed to cross the Brooklyn Bridge on foot because the city was stuck in traffic jams. And we were walking to the conference each and every day, coming back. It has been fun.
And now here we are with a bridge ready to go and a collaboration about to be launched where we're gonna start bringing people into the ecosystem as a result of that one meeting, right?
Sure. Who could have thought that, in 2019, I think, yeah.
So now that you're sort of actively talking about this and you're actively promoting it, and this collaboration is about to launch, what kind of response have you seen from to what you're doing from the Tezos community?
I see that people are joining our Telegram group and our Twitter, but I don't see too many questions out there. So it seems that people are generally aware of what we are doing, but they are not necessarily yet committed. Maybe we are not providing them enough use cases. Maybe we have to explain to the community that now when the bridge is live, when it is up and running, what you can do. So one of the ways, for example, is going to be transferring liquidity, allocating it into liquidity pools on QuipaSwap and earning yield. For example, I'm not advocating, but I'm saying that this is one of the things to do. The other things could be, taking part in this NFT event, or it could potentially be the other way around. So, for example, if anyone from Tezos community is interested in transferring assets here and there, and maybe they can share some thoughts, telling us, hey, please do this and that. So what we are building here is we're building this infrastructure layer, but the use cases, they should come from, not from us, right?
So if they tell you what they want, you can build it for them.
Absolutely. This is what we do. We build for the community.
Makes a lot of sense. And as far as use cases go, I understand there's a farming aspect to the Allbridge platform. What can you tell us about the farming opportunities that are available within Allbridge?
So just so we are on the same page, if we are speaking about bridge to Tezos, we are not farming on Allbridge. We are farming on our partners' DEXs, where we build the bridges too. We are also building our in-house farming for liquidity pools for this part of the bridging that we call cross-chain stable swaps. So let's say tomorrow we integrate USDT on Tezos into our cross-chain stable swap bridge, and then users will be able to participate in the stables liquidity pools, making sure that whenever the swap is done, there is enough liquidity there in exchange for the commissions from the bridge. But farming opportunities I'm overviewing right now, those are the ones available, those are that made available by our partners. In this case, it is QuiperSwap. So we just provide the infrastructure, we help to transfer liquidity, and farming, it is available within our partner's interface.
Okay. So, like, you mentioned about the community coming forward with questions, and you mentioned about them sort of understanding your value proposition. Like, what would you like the builders and developers in the Tezos community to know about Allbridge and its role in sort of helping the Tezos ecosystem mature?
My message to the builders would be, hey guys, we connected Tezos to 16 different chains. Now, whenever you need something to be brought from those chains to Tezos or from Tezos to those chains, please let us know. It could be, tokens like other digital assets. Let's discuss. Tell us what you need. Tell us what do you need in your protocol on your platform, so we are well aware of what is happening, what are your needs, and then we can address them. Even if we require additional partnerships for that, let's say you want to take asset from Tezos, bridge it, I don't know, to Near or to BNB or somewhere else, and you need a partner there, we can also try to help you find one. But please share with us the business problems you are trying to address, and then we will try to both provide technology and the partnerships on the other chains.
Perfect. So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on a little bit what's going on in the space right now. Obviously, we're in quite a contentious moment in the history of blockchain tech and crypto. And I'm wondering if I could just get your thoughts, your view on the recent developments in the space and what you think they mean for the larger blockchain ecosystem moving forward.
Now, it's probably hard to ignore what is happening right now with FTX. I mean, we can try to, but I don't think it makes sense. While it saddens me that this event happened and that the guy simply took users' money from users' pockets, from the deposits on the exchange, and transferred them to the fund that they own, and this is not what we are doing in crypto. This is not why we are in crypto, but it happened. And it happened on a great scale, affecting a lot of founders, a lot of protocols, a lot of good projects. And, it is there. Again, it is hard to ignore it. I think that the important lesson that we can learn here is that we really need to stick to decentralized finance, because in DeFi, those things can happen due to the whole nature of DeFi. And on centralized exchanges, unfortunately, there is always a risk that those things would happen. Over time of my career in crypto, since 2015, I have seen different centralized exchanges doing different stupid things. And I cannot say that you will have 100% guarantee that it would not happen to you at some point. And again, FTX, it has been well known, well trusted, associated with regulations, legislations exchange. It was not like some no KYC, no AML small exchange from, I don't know, the part of the world you never heard of. No, it was fully regulated, and SBF, he has been meeting congressmen of the states. So everyone on the market expected them to be reliable partner. And it turned out they just weren't. And this is always the risk you need to keep in your mind. And this is the part where you really want to think and ask yourself the question, are you prepared to take this risk? Or maybe you need to look for other methods of interacting with the market, particularly decentralized methods.
Okay. So given all of that, what do you think is the most pressing problem facing this industry in 2022?
We will unfortunately see right now a lot of protocols, some of them were affected by the recent set of events with FTX. Some of them, for example, hold their treasuries on FTX or had other connections. Some of them probably would just say that they had that and still perform sort of the rug pull. It is unfortunately a very easy position for the founders just to say, hey, market, my funds were on FTX. They shut down. We lost of our funds. Now we are shutting down. Bye bye. And there is no reasonable way to check if that is true or false. And we will see founders leaving the space. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be as bad, I think, as end of 2018 for the ecosystem. And it will definitely take some time for the market to recover, for people to learn from those mistakes, for new builders to come in. And we will be facing this crypto winter, how we call it. But it is fine. I do believe that good projects, they always survive through the crises. So it is common concept out there on the market, but I truly believe that it is now time to build. Maybe it is not a good time now to earn the money. It is just not about that. But it is a good time to find talented people looking for a way they can contribute to the blockchain ecosystem in general. And by working with talented people, we can build those products that are needed by the market. And that is, I think, our role that we need to take right now.
Okay. And speaking of continuing to build during this period, what's next for Allbridge? Do you have any other exciting rollouts or announcements in the works?
I'm working on a couple of things right now. So first of all, integrating as many chains as possible. Second, it is working on this cross-chain stable swap model that I touched today quite a few times. So giving people access to native liquidity on different chains. Think about it like curve finance cross-chain. Other than that, I'm becoming more and more interested in a privacy layer. So today, the majority of cross-chain communications, they're quite transparent, easily to be seen within the messaging protocols. So is there a way to contribute more privacy to that? And what I mean here, it is not becoming a cross-chain tornado cash. No, by no means. I'd rather say that, let's say you're interested in paying people their wages, their salaries on chain, and you don't necessarily want to all the people in your company to see how much each and other one earns and how much money do you have in treasury in general. This is sort of sensitive private information. So either a way to make those transfers on chain, but still with the related part of privacy that will not make things wrong for some people. So I'm not saying like total privacy, like 100% privacy. I'm speaking about semi-privacy that would help address several use cases that are important for the market. But at the same time, they will not put us, for example, into the position where we will become the infrastructure layer for bad actors. So what is the right way of balancing that? This is what I'm looking into right now.
That's awesome. We're almost at the end here. Before we close off, I'd like to announce the winner of today's Tezos branded Nano Ledger. Today's winner is Hacker Pirate. Congratulations, Hacker Pirate. To claim your prize, just email us at social@tezoscommons.org. We'll request a screenshot for verification that you're the account owner and get your shiny new ledger over to you just as quick as we can. For those who missed out today, we remind you that there are frequently awesome giveaways to be found here on the TezTalks live stream. So keep tuning in. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our social media contacts can be found at tezoscommons.org/TezTalks. We'd love to hear from you. Andriy, thanks so much for joining us today. It's always awesome to speak to the folks bridging important gaps in the blockchain ecosystem and helping Tezos claim its rightful place at the forefront of the blockchain revolution. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we sign off here?
I would like to thank you so much for your time, for your questions, and for this discussion. Really my pleasure.
Awesome. Everyone out there in Tezos land, thanks for joining us on the TezTalks live stream. I'm Stu from the Tezos Commons, and our awesome guest has been Andriy Velykyy, CEO and co-founder of Allbridge. Now let's go build some bridges. you.